What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking all about fat loss because it is without a doubt the most common fitness goal there is. But I think it's also one of the most misunderstood processes, and it's also highly exploited with the goal of selling you something that you probably don't really need. The goal of this video is to primarily inform. That way you can see through some of that deception and achieve your goals without some special meal plan or whatever. So we're gonna get right into it. I wanted to start by differentiating between weight loss and fat loss. People think of these things as synonymous, but they're really not the same. Weight loss is just a reduction in body weight, but that reduction can come from body fat, lean muscle, or water. I mean, I guess also if you amputated your leg, that would reduce your body weight. Fat loss is only a reduction in your body's fat storage. Most of the time, when people say they're trying to lose weight, they really mean they're trying to lose fat. So this is a good time to bring up the scale. The scale is a source of anxiety and stress for a lot of people. Rightfully so. I think it's really easy to become fixated on the number that shows on the scale. I know I've struggled with this in the past, and the way I overcome it is to just take a step back and realize that the scale is just a tool. It's an instrument to provide a measurement. So when you see the scale move up and down, know that increase or decrease can come from body fat, muscle tissue, or water. Just use the scale as a tool, not the end-all be-all of determining your progress. If you want to see just how drastic certain eating can change your body's water retention, check out my last video where I went keto for a few days. That'll give you some context as to what I'm talking about. Okay, so we've talked about weight loss, fat loss. Now I want to talk about how we initiate fat loss. Give me 1 minute and I will summarize the process as best I can. So here is my super fancy diagram. So on this end we have our calories out. Basal metabolic rate, it's essentially the energy you burn by being alive. If you laid in bed and did absolutely nothing for an entire day, you would still burn this many calories. This is your biggest chunk by far, and it's largely dependent on body weight, specifically lean body mass, so muscle tissue. The next biggest chunk is usually non-exercise related movement. You'll see people call this NEAT. This is basically everything you do throughout the day that isn't designated as exercise. So walking your dog, getting off the toilet, brushing your teeth, all of that movement. Then you have exercise. And exercise is actually a smaller amount of your daily calories than you probably think. Most Apple Watches, Fitbits, all those things almost always overestimate calories. Sorry. Unless you're doing a ton of cardio work, this number is usually rather small, especially if you're primarily lifting weights. Lastly, we have the thermic effect of food. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. Basically, it's the amount of energy your body needs to break down the food that you eat. On the other side, we have food and drink. Alcohol is not left off of this, by the way. It does have calories, even if it says it has no carbs. In order for weight loss to occur, out has to be more than in. Now notice how I said weight loss, not fat loss, because it's a little bit more complex than just staying in a calorie deficit in order to get the right response. So yeah, I showed you a graph and that's all fine and good, but how do we actually do it, right? My recommended approach would always be to adjust your nutrition and leave your exercise as is. Let's think about this rationally. It's a lot easier to manipulate this entire column than one small subset of this column. And while you might be inclined to reduce intake and increase your exercise, now you're placing your body under competing demands and you're likely to crash and burn. It's also so important that you prioritize your recovery during this time. So make sure you're getting enough sleep, make sure you're eating enough food to fuel the workouts you're doing, and make sure you're getting a wide variety of macro and micronutrients. I also would personally recommend increasing your protein intake. We do this for two main reasons. One, to make sure we're properly recovered from our exercise, and two, this thermic effect of food we talked about. Protein requires slightly more energy to digest. So person A and person B could be eating the exact same amount of calories, but if person A is eating twice as much protein, this subgroup down here is going to be a little bit higher. And the last thing is to understand that it will be a gradual process. Everybody wants a magic silver bullet to rapid weight loss in 30 days or whatever. Frankly, it does not exist. The best strategy is the one that maintains the highest level of adherence. I could give you the best meal plan, but if you can't follow it, it really doesn't matter. But remember that we are not all the same. All of our bodies have slightly different comfort ranges where we like being, and it's important to come to grips with the fact that your set point may be a little thicker than somebody else's, but that's okay. We all have the ability to improve and stay healthy at the same time. Because at the end of the day, are you really willing to sacrifice your health to lose that last bit of stubborn body fat? Because there comes a point when weight loss is just as unhealthy as weight gain if you let it get too extreme. And I should point out, you shouldn't be maintaining a calorie deficit forever. By principle, you couldn't or you would die. I would actually encourage you to come out of a diet phase if you've been doing it for an extended period of time. Let your body stay at a period of maintenance for a little while. I think you'll be surprised to see how much better you feel overall. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions at all or suggestions for other videos you want to see, please drop a comment down below. If you liked the video, hit that like button. And if you're new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. So yeah, go out and become a better version of yourself, whatever size that may be.